Hello, I am the Game Catcher and you're watching the Game Index. Stay a while and listen. Today we are reviewing Ori and the Blind Forest, and as you can guess, in Ori and the Blind Forest you play Ori, a young forest spirit who was separated from the Tree of Life during a horrible storm and raised by the Bear-like Naru. Ori and Naru lived happily together until one day the forest began to decay and die. Naru gave Ori the last bit of food they have and tragically starved to death. And the Tree of Life, on death's door himself, used the last of his energy to revive Ori and gave him and us the mission of restoring the balance of the elements of the forest before all was lost. So on this right now, you have no idea, I'm on this like spots on a Dalmatian. The visuals in this game are absolutely breathtaking. Like, I am a huge fan of art that deals in oversaturated colors. It's just my aesthetic, it appeals to me. And they do a great job with their color scheme without making it too overwhelming. Their parallaxing is fantastic. They pay as much attention to the background as the foreground as the midground where all the action is taking place, and it really adds to the depth of their environment. It feels huge and expansive, perfectly fitting in with their open world style and unique environments. The level of detail they put into their artwork is exquisite, and I loved it whenever they used the foreground to foreshadow things that would happen in later parts of the game.
You were in the foreground! I know you.
The soundtrack too is fantastic, and the developers even won an award for it. Usually I don't pay that much attention to video game music because that's just how it's designed. Video game music is supposed to set the tone for certain areas, but fall into the back of your consciousness so that you can focus on the action. And that's the reason why a lot of people will actually listen to video game music soundtracks while they're studying, because it helps keep people attentive and focused on what it is that they're supposed to be working on. And Ori's soundtrack did that, but it also added an emotional depth that, when combined with the visuals and the storytelling, just really tugged on your heartstrings. I think that without the soundtrack the way it was, I may have only cried about half as much as I actually did.
I'm not crying, you're crying! Shut up!
I have to say that I think this is one of the top tier platforming games in existence right now, especially concerning the mechanics. They start you off slow and simple with basic running and jumping capabilities, and then introduce a combat system. As you progress through the game by leveling and completing certain sections of the story, you gain access to new abilities that vastly improve your mobility and your combat strength.
I'm excited, we get a new ability! Oh, this is lovely!
The level design around the new abilities helps to teach you how to use them quickly and efficiently, and each one opens up new areas in the overworld, encouraging exploration. My only concern with the powers was that you gain so many, movement starts to become incredibly difficult. It was very difficult for me to keep them all in my head at one time, and sometimes I'd run into a problem and flounder for a long time before remembering, oh, I can do that! No problem was actually insurmountable, so long as you had the proper ability in your hand. It was all just me being a dunce. Okay, so here we are. Here's this guy, and we go whoop. And I mean, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Yes, okay, that's what they said to do. Oh, that makes so much more sense. Oh god, Another thing that I think could be potentially troublesome for some players are what I've deemed in my head to be the escape challenges. Whenever you restore an element of the forest, suddenly the difficulty jumps up to 11 as you have to use your new ability, your newest ability, to escape certain death. I found the challenges, difficult as though they may have been, to be fun. Fun to rage at, satisfying to clear, and they gave the game an edge of danger and drama that it really needed. I do think, however, that some players could get really stuck on these levels. That problem, though, along with another one that I really had, which was fast travel. I really wanted fast travel between, like, all of the fountains and everything. Those problems seems to have been solved with the new definitive edition of Ori and the Blind Forest. They give you the option to change your difficulty level, and there's even a one life mode for the truly daring.
Show me.
Message received. The definitive edition came out right before I finished my playthrough of Ori and the Blind Forest, and I've yet to play it, but here's what I know about it. So, in addition to adding new difficulty levels and fast travel between the spirit worlds, which I think were definitely needed. There are also 2 new areas and abilities for you to explore, as well as more background story for Naru herself. The original game, I think, was perfect just standing all on its own, but these new additions will have definitely improved on the game, I think, and I can't wait to try it for myself. Overall, this game is phenomenal. It's beautiful, challenging, heart-rending, and any problems that I've had with it have either been me being a dumb, or fixed with the addition of the definitive release. I can honestly say that this is one of the best games that I have ever played, and it will be on my favorites list for years to come. My rating on this game is an 11 out of 10. I am the Game Catcher, and this game has been caught and cataloged.